For real though, anybody can achieve anything. It sounds kind of corny to say, like, believe in your dreams, but it's true. Anybody can accomplish anything if you set your mind to it.
As of the time I'm recording this, October 18th, 2020, I have over 1.7 million followers on TikTok. That is crazy. It's absolutely insane. I appreciate every single one of you who supported me and everything from the bottom of my heart, seriously. This year, I learned an important lesson in achieving your goals or your dreams in life, and I can't wait to share it with you. But first, let me provide some context. So I started pursuing comedy and entertainment in 2015, so it's been about 5 years. To all the people older than me in the industry, all the veterans, 5 years is literally nothing, but I'll keep it honest with y'all, I was starting to get a little bit insecure.
It seems like every year, someone I know is getting married, and every time I'm wondering when or if I'll get to that point.
A couple years ago, I quit my accounting job because I knew that I wasn't gonna go and get a master's degree so I could go and study and become a certified public accountant. I knew it wasn't a life I wanted to invest in. I ended up switching to sales after I moved to New York to work for a company that allowed me to make more money on a more flexible schedule. The whole time,
people asking, so how's comedy? And I'm like, oh, it's going. It's going.
And I'll be honest with you, as I've gotten closer to age 30, I'm starting to freak out a little bit. Because 30, it just feels like that's the age where things are supposed to start making sense. One side of me is trying to tell me that I shouldn't feel insecure because, in the past 5 years, I've done a lot of pretty cool things. I got to do stand-up comedy overseas in Scotland in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. I co-produced a monthly comedy show at the Chicago Laugh Factory, and it averaged roughly 200 audience members per show. I got to open for comedic legend Bill Burr on a comedy show that I co-produced when I moved to New York City. At that same comedy club, I got to perform with The Daily Show. A bunch of random stuff like that. But see, they were all wins that didn't really add up to anything. Then 2020 came, and when this year started, I really wanted to try things differently. There's this book I read in 2018 called Magic Ladder to Success by Napoleon Hill. And the only reason I read it is because there's a rapper that I follow named Russ, super successful, and he cited that book as one of the books that he read that helped him become successful. So when 2020 started, I went and dove back into that book, and I opened up all the notes that I took on that book in 2018. And one of the biggest points that stuck out to me immediately when I was looking through my notes is that Napoleon Hill noticed amongst a lot of the successful people that he studied is that they all had a very definite aim, a definite plan, a definite purpose for their life. A clear and definite aim meaning that if I were to ask you, what is it you're trying to achieve in your life, you'll be able to give me a very specific answer.
Saying things like, I want to be famous or I want to be rich, it's not specific, but saying something like, in 5 years, I'll possess $5 million, followed by actionable steps to get that specific $5 million, that's specific.
When I read that, I was kind of caught off guard because I realized none of my goals were specific. And for 5 years, I was doing a lot of cool things, but I was running around like a headless chicken. I tried building my brand on Twitter and then I quit. I started a blog on Quora, wrote for a while on that and then quit. I probably started and stopped this YouTube channel 3 separate times. I've written a bunch of random scripts. I've tried to do a lot of random projects. It's kind of everywhere. So after that self-reflection, I sat down and wrote out a very specific goal.
So I wrote out my specific goal, which was to get a writing job in comedy in 8 to 12 months.
And the beauty of making a very specific goal is that you could change it at any point in time, but you gotta have something written. Literally write it down or type it out. A couple months later, I actually landed an audition with Comedy Central. Out of 900 comedians, I made it to the top 16. That's crazy. Out of that top 16, they were gonna choose 5 to be actors/writers for their digital content. I was this close. I didn't get it. Then right after that, COVID hit, and everything involving live performance, comedy, being around people, working with people, it all shut down immediately. I ended up leaving New York to Seattle to quarantine with my family. It was back to the drawing board. And this time I decided to focus on social media.
I said I wanted to reach 20,000 on TikTok and 20,000 on YouTube by the end of 2020. And because of the virus, I was forced to make sacrifices. I couldn't hang out with friends. I couldn't go to parties. I couldn't go on dates or hang out with girls. I didn't have any options. I was forced to only focus on waking up, making videos, eating, and then sleeping. And it wasn't until making content was my sole focus, even though elements outside of my control forced it to be my sole focus, that's when the results came.
It's funny, when all these rich people and public speakers talk about needing to make legit sacrifices to make certain things come to fruition in your life, they really do mean that.
Sometimes, I can't help but wonder, if it wasn't for this virus, would I be able to still eliminate my distractions in the same capacity?
I always took with a grain of salt, like, yeah, you gotta make some sacrifices. Don't hang out with people all the time, or don't go out and party. But now I'm understanding the power of eliminating all your distractions and having all of your efforts focused on one specific goal. Whatever you're working towards really has to become your sole focus. And you need to have the self-awareness to know where your distractions are coming from.
For real though, anybody can achieve anything. It sounds kind of corny to say, like, believe in your dreams, but it's true. Anybody can accomplish anything if you set your mind to it.
I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I really want to give you this message. Having a clearly defined goal and a deep focus towards that goal is a powerful combination. It can be scary too sometimes, because if something doesn't work out or go your way, you may not know where to go next in life. But similar to that Comedy Central situation, rejection is redirection. It's saying, stop knocking on this door, check the one down the hall. And when the next step isn't clear, that's when you gotta keep moving forward, even if it's just a baby step.